should be going on. Let's see. There we are. 179. Let's go ahead, copy this, and paste and go. There we go. Okay, so we have our paradox form. So, Mr. DJ Coolmaster, thank you for the link here and the advice that this was coming out. I didn't know this was coming out today. So, a little bit of everything. Dev Diary 179. Hello everybody. Hello everyone. Studio Black is working at full capacity after traditional Swedish summer break. So today, Dev Diary is going to cover a broad range of topics from a few different members of our development team. We'll be talking primarily about celestial government mechanics, but we are also providing a bit more detail about border warfare and the new Wanua government's unique mechanics. Treasury budgeting. Go away, dog. I'm not going to pronounce that. Dan here. One of the new features we've been iterating on since the Mechanic of China Dev Diary and the Imperial Treasury, or just Treasury for short. A key thing we wanted to improve is how Treasury flows to part of the empire that don't have their own tax income, such as ministries. How much should a ministry receive from the emperor in Treasury? Well, that would depend on the economy of the empire, which is related to the size of the realm, its development, etc. Absolute numbers like they get 10 treasury per month do not scale well, if at all. Other centralized numbers like salaries suffered from similar issues. What makes a high salary in 876 is a paltry sum in 1178. To provide a more scalable number instead of a fixed modified number, we have implemented a new set of laws that distribute the treasury excess called budget capacity over a number of recipients. Let's see. Change treasury budgets. Huangdi Jiaoshu of Song. Huangdi, for those who don't know, is emperor. Actually, I think it means that's fine. Emperor is fine. Emperor Jiaoshu of Song. Previous budget capacity 274, current budget capacity 280, change plus 6.5, enact budget. This will be cool. You get to do your salary budget, ministry budget, military budget, allocations, recipients. I really hope that, that would be a huge number, but these smaller numbers like ministry budget and military budget recipients, I wish we could see who benefits from that, but we'd probably know innately just by their titles or something. Total 90%, unallocated 10%. So you could, this is cool. Yes, it is. They've been talking about this all year. They've only mentioned the coronation one once. A window showing the treasury budget before budget. Wait, what? A window showing the treasury budgets before budget enactment, with changes to ministry and salary budget percentages, costs, and effects work in progress. It's cool. We've added 3 categories for the centralized treasury budget. A salary budget, or treasury, which goes to all vassals and sub-vassals that should receive salaries. It is given as gold income. I almost thought this said God-given income. Anyway, ministry budget. Each of the ministries will receive a slice of this budget as treasury income. Military budget. Each of the holders of military province types, circuit type, will get a slice from this budget as treasury income, in addition to the regular treasury income that is based on taxes sent. I thought Roads to Power was big. This Asia DLC makes Roads to Power look like nothing. Yeah. There was a lot thrown at the Byzantine Empire, but I don't know. I think they I think it was kind of a bummer that they held off on hegemony title just for China. I mean, it makes sense that China would get something bigger than Empire, or perhaps, I don't know, make a new mechanic around it. But, I thought that the ranking system was kind of hard-coded and you couldn't really mess with it, but I guess I was wrong. Any unallocated budget will become income for the general treasury to be spent by the emperor as they please. Oh, I'm going to absolutely ruin China if I become emperor. You can run a budget deficit too, if you desire, but it will draw from your collected treasury. Running a deficit could prove potent if you want to keep your government happy and powerful. Don't run out of treasury, though, as being in treasury debt will impact you similarly to being in gold debt. So we see here that their allocation is above 100% by 10. Deficit of 10, total 28. Cool. Part of the budgeting window showing that running a deficit looks like work in progress. Yeah, okay, so Rome being a hegemony, I have mixed feelings about it because I like the idea of Rome kind of incorporating other empires, but I think there should be like 2 Rome titles, like the base Roman Empire, when you're collecting all the duchies required to actually make the thing. And then I think a hegemony of Europe would be fine, or maybe 2 a hegemony of Rome would be interesting. I think there should definitely be 2 different ones, or make it like, I don't know, Empire of Rome that's expanding over time to get other empires under the fold, be the emperor, and then just a hegemon over Europe I think would be interesting. Or maybe just your mega Rome can be a hegemony, or maybe upgrading your Empire of Rome to hegemon status I think would be interesting. But I don't know how I feel about it, because it would be weird to have both Byzantium and the Holy Roman Empire underneath the hegemony of Rome. Calculating budget base rates. Budget base rates. The amount of a standard recipient of a budget category receives. Recipients may receive more or less than the base rate depending on their rank, merit rank, or other modifiers. Interesting. Game concept for the budget base rate. How this budget is distributed among the recipients is calculated via the base rate. It is represented what one standard recipient of this type would receive. Each recipient can get more or less of this base rate, depending on the things like their title rank and merit rank in the case of salaries, but also potentially any individual modifiers. Kingdom Circuit, 100%, 5th rank, plus 20%. Oh, interesting. So the salary budget would be 0.7. But their actual budget that they get is 0.9 because they're a kingdom and a 5th rank merit. Okay. Breakdown of a governor's salary based on the base rate, the tier of their primary title, and the merit rank. I looked at the border warfare stuff. I'm getting there. Calculation examples. Say that you have a budget category that would get 100 treasury allocated to it. It has 8 recipients, of which 6 have the base rate of 100% and 2 have a base rate of 150%. 6 times 1.0 equals 6 base rate units. 2 times 1.5 equals 3 base rate units. Total 9 base rate units distributed over 8 recipients. 100 divided by 9 is a base rate of 11.1. Each of these normal 6 recipients would receive 11.1 treasury per month, and the higher 2 recipients would receive 16.6. Oh. I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, you're I guess it prevents you from getting like way too much for being like a mega vassal, huh? Like, yeah, you'd get more, but, there's still a curve to it. Enacting treasury budget. Now, if the base rate was calculated continuously, your treasury budget would always be perfectly balanced, but that is not how budget setting usually works in the real world, and it's kind of boring. So instead of budget gets enacted, which sets the base rate to a fixed number until a new budget is enacted in the future, it's the per recipient payout, aka the base rate significantly less than the previous budget. People get angry and opinion malice. If they get more, they're happier. Lower and higher levels of budget allocation for each category will also provide additional effects. For example, setting your salary budget very low might encourage local corruption. How frequently you can and should enact a budget is still something we're balancing. Example, you have expanded your realm and have more vassals without a corresponding increase in tax income. You might have to give your allocation to salaries to keep everyone at the same level, but that comes at someone else's slice. You make the military governors mad, the ministers, a rough choice. Maybe running a small deficit for a while can't hurt. Manipulating the treasury budgets as a vassal. In Imperial China, many would come to the suggestion of the emperor on how the budget should be distributed. Political movements will push their agendas, and a wise emperor would heed their advice. Of course, you could also increase the relative budget of your ministry circuit salary by manipulating your vassal's contract. Now, this would be cool to play with outside of China. Like if you created a government, a hegemony that had a dynastic cycle as well, like the Empire of Rome didn't necessarily have a cycle per se, because like dynasties would come and go. Sometimes there's just one dude. There was a reign of the 5 bad emperors as well. I don't know. This would be interesting to have, just to create. I kind of like all the mechanics would be fun to play with. I think just be unrestricted and swapping between the governments would be nice. Let's start with Son of Heaven, His Grace, the Chinese Emperor. As a player, you will have access to 2 decisions that will allow you to signal what era and which movement you favor. Being in the favored movement has an impact on the catalyst and increase the effectiveness of influencing others, through schemes or interactions. You need it all. Similarly, the favored era also triggered catalysts, which, while also affecting the pro-dynasty movement's members' behavior, and which era will be established when getting out of an unstable era. The AI doesn't use the decision because the AI emperor is more malleable and follows the most powerful movement's wishes. Only if the pro-dynasty movement in power does the emperor choose based on personality. Civilian or economy-oriented will choose advancement, while militant rulers choose expansion. For the favored movement, the AI emperor decides based on the debate activity outcomes. More about them and player impact in the debates section of the developer diary. I get to argue with a computer in my favorite game? Awesome. Favor and era. Let's see. We've got advancement over expansion. Sets advancement as favorite era, movement of advancement plus 200, whatever that icon is. And then advancement era. The advancement movement becomes the favored movement. Plus, that's power. Okay, plus 350 power. The dynastic cycle triggers advancement movement, gains significant amount of movement power and Chinese core, adding 10 progress towards tension. We have advancement movement, expansion movement, conservative movement, pro-song movement. Oh yeah, that's the dynasty. All right, and it looks like that's going to use the political power. Okay, yeah, this is political power costs. Okay, interesting. Tying in your roads to power mechanic. Based on external and internal feedbacks, we decided to change some names of the eras to avoid confusion with era types and to better convey the state of the cycle. Thus, the name of the eras and their types are as follow: advancement, stable; expansion, stable; tension, unstable; conquest, unstable; division, chaotic. The elder discipline. So elder and discipline, no, disciples, that's what it is. Disciple. Elder and disciples update. The elder-disciple relationship is an integral part of climbing the meritorious career ladder in China, and since merit is currently used only in governments with domiciles, an overview tab was added to the estates. There you can manage your disciples and your elder. If the elder has other disciples besides you, you will see them here too. In order to kickstart, the game will assign the relationships at game start randomly based on merit and being in the same movement or just realm proximity. In the next step, we've added a few shorthand interactions to more easily break existing relations or establish new ones. If you didn't like the starting bunch or were still under the limit, you can change them. Yes, now there is a limit to how many people you can mentor at once. One of the reasons for the limit is that disciples always follow the elder to be part of the same movement, thus bringing your flock would significantly swing power and make the power struggle either trivial or volatile. However, the limit can be increased, mainly by domicile upgrades. I don't know. I kind of like, 500 disciples just coming and just absolutely shrekking everyone else's. Okay, let's see. So that's cool. That's cool. There's a domicile over in China. Okay. Find elder. I don't know. This kind of looks like one of those sects, that you see in Wushu books and stuff. 500 disciples, yes. Imagine, you just had 500 followers, and you're like, I want this to happen, and they just set out to do it. You just cause chaos, man. Especially if they all held some kind of rank in the government. Oh, yeah. I would be winning all kinds of arguments with the AI. It'd stand no chance. Ask to join movement. Gain 13, whatever that is. Okay. Change allegiance to advancement movement. Intendant Han Gong's personal movement power plus 141 movement power. Okay. Every intendant Han Gong's disciple 3 changes allegiance to advanced movement. The power gain is 168. What is that? R. Work in progress. Gotcha. The Asia market will eat this DLC up. Yeah. I don't know if you've read any of the comments on the Steam side of things. I just Paradox Forums is not the only place you can find this. I assume also in Reddit, but Steam also has these updates, and the Chinese cannot leave this alone. I see a Korean here or there. I think I've seen one Vietnamese comment, a few Japanese, but there are 500 million Chinese guys over there. My 500 disciples are constantly trying to get at this, anything China related, because they believe China number one. That is a thing that I heard while I was over there, actually. I spent 5 years there. They are ultra nationalistic. It is crazy. Anyway, disciples and follow the elder if he's convinced to join another movement. Live. A thing that could counterbalance this is that a guy who has more disciples could be more. He could be, has a higher opinion malice to actually change movements if he's got more disciples, because he's got more people following him. The whole responsibility thing. Live the bureaucratic dream. Surpassing its all-time player peak due to this update alone. Yeah, be honest with you, like I'm not for pandering over to the Chinese. Like, but this makes sense. It's part of the continuous map. It's just an outcome, but I do know that a lot of people pander to the Chinese, and I'm not for it. But it is what it is. Live the bureaucratic dream. The career path wouldn't be complete with an ultimate goal. You would like to become the new dynasty on the heavenly seat. How to achieve this without breaking the cycle? We turn to existing mechanics to represent it, creating a new variant of the prime minister diarchy. The existing one is vizier, called the Grand Secretariat. Oh my God, communism! Let's go. If you don't know, the Secretariat of the Soviet Union during Vladimir Lenin's days was Joseph Stalin. Joseph Stalin was the Secretariat of the Communist Party. So that's interesting. I know it's not strictly communist, but it makes sense. The regent is called the secretary director. He'll be responsible for the administrative work of the Son of Heaven, keeping the minister busy throughout new mandates. The scale of power will provide them a way to stage a coup, just as for the vizier. The whole power sharing thing, like, I never actually got to coup anyone yet. Like, I haven't really focused on that gameplay, but like working underneath someone, unless you're working underneath a literal child, like it was really hard to swing the scales in your balance to keep power. I think I got to like +3 once. Overhaul the Regency stuff, yeah. Well, I mean, I hope that this will help that. This DLC. I almost said this mod. This is a gigantic freaking mod if this is on. Okay, let's see. What's unique about this type of regency is that it is tied to the Grand Chancellor Minister. God, the Chinese and their huge titles. By a new realm law available only for this celestial government. The law makes it flexible and allows it to be changed to follow other ministers instead. Okay, let's see. Your power, Legion's power. It looks like you got some of your little icons over here for what you want them to do. Your scales. Grand Secretariat succession is interesting. The new diarch. Okay. Leverage personal power. What's this? Dynamic Regency. Oh, yeah, I've seen this. I have not downloaded it, but I've seen this. I should really stop clicking on things that chat sends. I'm going to download a virus one day. Let's see. Border warfare. Hey, this is what you brought up earlier. Nibble around the edges. Leaving China for a moment, I can share more details about border warfare. Oh, okay. Imagine 2 scenarios: a conqueror and rampaging nearby on swallowing lands that you have a claim on. So you are left with 3 options: murder them, fight them head on, or roll over and die. I don't know. I kind of like the first one. You restored Rome again. You didn't choose the hard option again. Now you're out of challenges and can either get to tediously conquer the world or start a new Rome restoration. This feels like I'm being slandered. I swear. No, it's written. It's libel. I'm being libeled. We wanted to make both scenarios more interesting so that living next to a powerful realm is not miserable while playing, as it is still challenging. Let me introduce Border Policy Realm Law, which will stimulate the top liege is busy with country matters in the capital and won't pay attention to insignificant wars over backwater counties far away. I actually love that. That is excellent. I do hate that, say the British took over like like a huge chunk of France, and they have Sicily for some reason because I don't know, inheritance, some marriage, whatever. And then you want that piece of Sicily as I don't know, the Grand Duke of Tunis. If you want that slice of Sicily, you're going to have to somehow squeeze that out of the British. And 9 times out of 10, it's just going to be, you're going to have to slog it with the British Empire. I mean, granted, the warfare is not too difficult. Like, you could probably storm Sicily and then, I don't know, storm through France that you can. But, like, I don't know. I think it's better just to do the whole Duke thing. Like, I get it. If you are the emperor and you're starting to lose land and you know about it, like, that would suck. You might want to get it involved, but still. Oh, intervening in 3 years. Hey, yeah, that's great. Dude, I do love this. This is great. This allows character to declare wars on vassals of that liege and forbid the top liege from intervening for 3 years. Oh, that's great. I have. Hold on. Let me show you. Did it switch over? Yeah, it switched over. Okay, let me show you something from my. Yeah, we'll just view this workshop real quick. Browse subscribed items. There is one that I have. Legacy of the Gods, can't wait for that to come back. Here, hold on. There is one that I have that has to deal with the core positions. Pervasive crown authority. I hate when my guys start like going to war with a lot of people and then just expanding for me. So I have this one installed. And it's pretty nice. And this, let's see. This is basically the opposite, where, someone can declare war for your counties and encroach on your territory. It'd make very interesting gameplay. That would be very interesting. Of course, I think this should be a game rule, though, for those who like to have their borders not, constantly fluctuating. But I think it'd be interesting. Alright, where was I? This allows characters to declare wars on vassals of that liege and forbids the top liege from intervening for 3 years. This will make large realms less safe and stable. Keeping peripherals, weak vassals, will make them easy targets for neighboring rulers to attack and defeat them before their top liege can respond. Your vassals should manage this long without your help, right? Or you can win a war yourself before the Emperor of China realizes what you're doing in his backyard. Oh my god, this is great. Yes. Okay, so. This is going to be very interesting. I actually like that. Alright, so the law is toggled automatically based on the set triggers. At least one of these has to be true for the law to toggle. Top liege is hegemony tier. Okay. Realm size is larger than 160. For context, this means the Holy Roman Empire is the only other realm besides China that starts the game in 1066 with the law enacted. Okay. Top liege's house unity is antagonistic. Yeah, you have some Muslim doing the dirty against his family. Yeah, that would do it. Top liege is in a civil war. That happens quite a bit. Oh, snatching. I missed that in CK2. Top liege is in a civil war. Yeah, I missed that in CK2. You remember CK2? There was a civil war going on. CK2's engine counted the war as independent, and you could snatch some land off of them if you were quick enough. That was always fun, by the way. Just trying to beat out the vassal before they cave to their superiors, because it would invalidate that would be interesting. I wonder if the wars would also be invalidated if you could just keep going. All right, let's see. Guaranteed protection, conditional join. All title holders within the realm can be targeted by wars declared by other rulers. Top liege will not be involved in those wars on declaration. Top liege can still join the war as an ally using protected vassal interaction. More likely to join contested titles are kingdoms or kingdom tier. War targets multiple titles. War lasts more than 5 years. If the defender is weaker than the attacker, top liege will not join. If during the first year, it's the first year of the war. If the liege is already at war. If the liege is a debt. Or if the defender is stronger than the attacker. I like that. I like that there's some things that will prevent the liege from joining. That's cool. Duchy of Bohemia. You gain the contested title. Due to a border war policy locked to conditional join, any liege may join the war after 3 years using protected vassal interaction. That is good. I like that. Debates and examination updates. This feels like a setback now. we got something very juicy up here. Now it's tests. All right. Hi, I'm Pink Axolotl. Or your examiner, if you fancy. If I remember, wasn't it like axolotl, like in the Nautical language, like axolotl? Axolotl. I've written about the back on track. I've written about the examinations in previous diaries. Now I want to introduce you to a new activity intended for the dynastic cycle: debates. Okay, logic and reason. Okay, so this is just that. First section, war and death. Next section, butt exam. Yeah. Debates allow you, a member of a movement in a dynastic cycle, to either seize leadership of your movement or duke it out scholar style with another member to become a dynastic cycle favored movement. The event is in the activity are all about the interplay existing between movements, as well as as about gaining disciples or an elder to support you in your meritorious journey. Can we do can we reenact the Yellow Turban whatever that's called, rebellion? Succeed at any cost, grandson. Do not put House U to shame. Speaking of merit, the examinations are your be-all and end-all for accumulating this resource. This is most true for landless administrators. For the latest rework to the activity, you can now attend an exam while landed for the purpose of helping your family and disciples to take their exams. The different exam levels have further fleshed out, with the provincial examination now being its own activity as well. This is available to hosts for all governments that utilize merit. The naming convention has been changed for imperial examinations to civil service examination, which is how they will be referenced henceforth. Diplomacy being undercooked? Yeah, just a little bit. Clothing and headgear for Southeast Asia. Since we have created a lot of character art for China and Japan, we have been asked what we're doing for Southeast Asia, and I am pleased to share what we've been doing. For where was I? For Southeast Asia, I'm pleased to share what we've been doing, adding a set of clothes and headgear for both men and women with present scope. We have decided to base it primarily on the Khmer Kingdom, or Empire's attire. We are adding outfits and headgears based on some amazing preserved examples, as well as sculptures and reliefs depicting from ruins of Angkor in present-day Cambodia. Oh, that's cool. For example, a work in progress female crown. Wow, that is intricate. I like that. The abundance of detail makes working with these a dream come true for 3D artists, or nightmare if you're on a tight deadline. Yeah. Ethnicities and general improvements. On top of the overall improvements to East Asian ethnicities and the addition of Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, we're including new ethnicities for mainland Southeast Asia, as well as the islands. So, the Chinese, let's speak for a moment. In China, there are different ethnicities. It's just most people identify as Han Chinese, but there were a lot more in the past, and it kind of People kind of just went with the Han because that was kind of the extent of things. What is this purple? Bartering. Hey yo, Chadling here. I don't know why I did that. Chadling here. You might have seen the polygons on that crown will crash a lot of potatoes. Yeah. Let's see. I got AMD Ryzen 6000 series with NVIDIA GeForce RTX. Yeah, I think my potato is gonna fry itself. You might have seen writing about design choices previously, but I am here now to talk about a new coded system we're implementing for Wanua government, bartering. Before you get ahead of yourselves, let's be clear, this isn't a trade system. Rather, it's a unique mechanic we've made for Wanua characters, to reflect the historical merchants of the region. All values in the subsequent screenshots will change as we balance the features. You're safe. Wow. I'm cooked. First barter mission of Nabawan barter. A bartering armory. I keep thinking of creatures when I read characters now. This is going to bug me. Wanua characters will be able to raise a bartering army that can go barter with other characters on the map. When arriving in a barony that has loot, bartering armies exchange their barter goods, a new currency for Wanua characters, for the barony's loot. The barony will get a nice timed modifier, reduced its loot to 0, but increase things such as development. Upon returning home, the bartering army exchanges the loot for gold. Oh, that's interesting. Southeast Vikings Trading Edition. Okay, that's cool. So instead of pillaging to get the gold, you just traded. That's cool. God, what was it called? Indo-Norse? No, not the Indo-Norse. Was it the Indo-Norse? CK2 Indo-Norse? That was a thing that people kept trying to do. Well, now we're in Indonesia, so we can't say Indo-Norse again, so it'd be Norsesia? I don't know. Alright, I might have to rescue my wife here in a moment. How much we got left? Alright, the barony gets a nice... Okay, yeah, we already did that. That's cool. An interface notification showed player FaceTime. Yep, this is a primary way for Wanua characters to earn gold. Primary way? Oh my god. Most of the building vassals and tributaries will not provide gold income, but barter goods. Men at arms will cost gold to recruit, but barter goods to maintain. It's interesting. That is interesting. Bowman. Okay. Paid in barter. Oh, so it is. God, they've got like way too many. I'm gonna have to be just a moment. See what the wife wants. Be right back. Intermission. Okay. And back. Alright, let's see. The wife is safe. The wife is safe. Alright, what do we got? Raiders are hostile to bartering armies outside the latter's home realm and can engage in them in combat to seize the loot. Yes, that makes too much sense. Whew. I did too much running. Sorry if I'm breathing too much. A debug tooltip for showing how bartering armies are considered hostile for raiding armies and vice versa. That is too cool. It is. What's up with that mask face? What is that? Is that supposed to be happy or concealing your true emotions? This whole system is unlocked by a new government rule, which can be added to any government should modifiers wish to do so. In tandem with that, there are a slew of new defines and script support, including triggers, effects, and on-actions that are available to customize the system. Hope you enjoyed this quick look at our unique mechanic for Wanua characters in Southeast Asia. Chad out. Yes, Chad out, champ. Administrative window updates. Hello, Jens here. Even though we're mainly working on the eastern parts of this world this time, this UI will change all of our administrative roles, including Byzantium. I'd argue to say that's still Eastern, Eastern Roman Empire. Anyway. Strategos and Dronikas. Okay. Summon to war, better governance, undermine governance, retire governor. Yeah, that looks similar. Frontier administration. Cool. Displaying a list of all titles in the realm and what actions you can take in the Oh, yeah. Oh, actually, that is nice. I like that. Here we reduce the size of the coat of arms to make space for additional details, and we've added a couple of shortcut buttons such as changing the vassal's directive, opening a title's details in here. Opening a title's details here now lets you control its thematic army directly, which was previously possible through the military view. That's actually really nice. I like that. All these buttons and oh god. I'm just imagining someone new to CK3. They just stupidly buy all of the DLC, open the game up, and never play again due to just being haunted by all of the details. My god. Here we've I already read that. The Noble Families tab looks fairly similar, with the addition of displaying the percentage of counties the house is ruling over within the realm. Lamau, indeed. Lamau, indeed. Would you think that's a French cat? Lamau. All right, yeah. Yeah. There's going to be too many buttons on EU5. I just know it's just going to be overwhelmed. A tab in the Ministry of Government window displaying a list of all noble families in the realm with the most important characters featured at the top. I actually had a lot of fun one time. I just went on a murder spree of killing off all the powerful noble families and most of the regular nobles. It was a lot of fun just killing everybody and just watching me and one other noble family just run the show. Let's see. Additionally, we've added your family tab. Mine? Where is it? Yoder? Lies. This will be the Windows primary tab when open. Here you gain a quick overview of your family members and easily plan and manage the title appointments for each character's perspective. Previously, the only way was to first select the title and then scroll to your preferred candidate. Yeah, I didn't like that so much. It made it very tedious. So this is cool. I like this. Yeah, like just like if you had like a ton of family members, there was a lot of titles you were interested in. Like it was a little tedious. I would like to keep that way when you're going through the titles. Like you click one on the map, you'd be like, yeah, I need more family members in this region. But also having a comprehensive list of your family members and what you're trying to get them into would also be nice. A tab in the administrative government window displaying a list of all your family members where you can manage their title appointments. Find appointment. Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah. This is looking quite nice. A tab in the administrative government window displaying a list of titles in the realm your selected family members could be appointed to. Clicking a title opens a sub-window where you can influence their candidate score. That's all we have for today. We hope you've enjoyed a brief look at some of the things we're currently working on for All Under Heaven. We're back on Thursday to discuss more about our other DLC coming out soon, the Coronation, so be sure to check out back then for detailed breakdown. I'm actually... Okay. Breakdown what I think here. This makes all Royal Court DLC look like a flavor pack. It really does. Like, the Royal Court really should not have been an expand. I don't remember what they listed it as, but whatever they listed it as, it was too big. It wasn't small enough. I don't think it was expansion worthy. What was it? So you have flavor, you have expansion, and you have forgot the other one. They got like 3 tiers. Anyway, like, okay, so digesting all the information. I like that they're updating the old administrative portion of things since they're going to use it in their China mechanics. Major expansion. No. I'm just going to straight up deny reality, man. No, it wasn't. Anyway, I do like a different kind of raiding army, bartering army. That's cool. I like that. I don't know how I feel about the Wanua just having like a different currency primarily over gold, but they still need gold. I don't know how I feel about that, but gaining gold through the use of an army is also pretty cool, especially if raiding armies are common in the almost said Middle East, Southeast Asia and Indonesia. I think would be pretty cool, pretty sweet. Just have that kind of dynamic, the ebb and flow, where people are constantly having zero loot. I mean, but if I had to if I was a barony and I had to deal with one or the other, I would definitely like the bartering army. The crown is cool. I wonder if they're going to do something like this, where they just kind of outline heavily feminine features. It's gonna get a lot of gooners attached to the game too. Let's see. The debate and exam. I don't really care about the examination so much. Like, I understand it's for the whole dynastic cycle, having like influence by having people following you and they follow you to a movement that influences that. I understand it, but I don't know. What I'm kind of disappointed in, and what I really wanted to see more, was on that religion thing. Let's see if we can go back a few dev diaries. Fresh coat of paint. Was it Southeast Asia? Yeah. Level of devotion. And looking at this chart right here, this has got me... Ooh. Like, I want to definitely work my way up as I like right now. It's like what, right here is a cutoff. Adding 3 more levels of devotion. Imagine being godlike and making a custom religion super Catholic. Yeah, no, I'll be the. Oh, I need to make it. Ooh, yes, a custom a custom Christian religion that has Eastern what do you call it? Eastern synchronization. I don't know. Syncretic. Whatever. It's synchronized with Hindu. I will be the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. Yep, that was the whole joke. And yep, I definitely knocked that one out of the park. Mm-hmm. But imagine though, super. Yes, this one right here, definitely yes. I am Odinson. Alexander Odinson. Yes, I actually wanted to see a little bit more about the religion and seeing not just seeing the Wanua get this, Southeast Asia / what you want to call it, Indonesia getting a hold of this, but also like Western cultures getting it, or Western religions, depending if they needed a cultural tie or something. I think would have been great. Would have been fantastic. Can't believe I already spent an hour on this stream alone. Jesus. Anyway, I am super stoked about this coming out. And I'll be even more stoked when I have money to actually spend on it, which will probably be next year. Oh, man. Actually, you know what? Can we look up EU5 stuff? Is that something we could do? Yep, here we go. Stage is set. The comments. Awesome. Oh, they don't... What? Do I not get the... There we go. Advances in forming countries. Yeah, EU5 is all about forming countries. CK3, I think doing the titular kingdoms and empires are cool, especially when they're tied in with like specific cultures and religions. It's very nifty, very, very nifty. But it's EU4, EU5 is going to be all about forming new countries, seeing what lands you need to just check that box. I don't know. Okay. There was something that was strange. They're talking about their tiers, right? The tier tags. If I remember correctly, they had what? The UK and the Rome and Rome both being like tier 5 or something. What? Stellaris devs? New IP? Where'd you get this information? Unified Scandinavia. That's cool. Subjects. You need to manage subjects' loyalty more carefully. Normal, aggressive, supportive, passive, defensive. Okay. Oh! Oh! You weren't kidding. You said that they're incorporating stuff like CK3. This is cool. France has a lot of subjects, I agree. I did find it weird how EU5, France, it was strange how they kind of broke it up like that. Like, it was interesting, but it looks super strange on the map. 40-ish vassals. You know things, huh? Well, could you share these things? Like, I'm gonna need sauce. Let's see. Crusader Kings 3 Dev Live. I should have done this earlier. There we go. Updated. Like I said, set it up top earlier. Construction centers. Kingdom of Hungary. Battle of Ortelberg. Oh, ooh, I kind of like that this is a little bit bigger. So this is like from Victoria. I like that. That's cool. Hey, you know things, Mr. DJ Coolmaster. You know things. So, did Victoria ever fix their army stuff? Or UI? For those of you who just joined, I currently switched over to looking at the EU5 stuff. So the Stellaris devs are making a new grand strategy IP, and it's being led by the former head of Hearts of Iron. The development started around the same time EU5 started to develop. Tinto Talk 75, 13th of August. So this is cool. I like this. Why don't we go back to CK3 for a moment? So we already did that one. First go to paint, vision of gold, a little bit of everything. Yes. I like it. I really do. I really do like it. It is good stuff. I think this treasury thing is going to be really cool, but disastrous if you ever forget about it and, like, say you have, like, over-allocated things. Well, I think there'd be some kind of warning that you would that would keep it in the forethought of your mind. There's been rumors of a fantasy grand strategy or Total War style game. You know what? I just got done playing Crusader Kings 3 with the Elder Kings 2 mod earlier, and I think if Total War would step into the Elder Scrolls franchise, I think that would be grand. Like I think it would be cool. You could have it focus on provinces, but I think all of Tamriel would be best, with how they move armies around and stuff. But like King Rancer's War, that was interesting. The Skyrim Rebellion of Skyrim is interesting. The Iliuso Three Banners War is okay. It'd be interesting. It would be. Or the Tiber Wars, I think that would be cool. If Total War could make Total War Elder Scrolls, I would open up a credit card just to pay for certain things. Oh man. All right. So I like the budgeting. It's good. I am very meh about the dynastic cycle. Like half of it, I really like with the coming and going. It's supposed to be, your tenure at the top is not forever. So I kind of appreciate that. I had some dynamic movement. The movements, allow you to be part of that influencing force that can topple the emperor. I can get behind. I think it's just something I need to play with to appreciate it more. I hope that the power sharing gets reworked, like completely. Like I do like that you can swing the scales. It just feels like 5 years that you have to wait for you to swing the scales. It's just a little too long and doesn't swing enough. Like you don't have enough. You just don't have enough events that pop off to really truly do anything for you. Like I know you don't want everybody overthrowing the monarch every time one goes into regency, but like it just feels like it doesn't happen enough. I think it's similar, but the rest of the game was significantly overhauled. What? They didn't. The Vicky 3 army. I have to say, I just. It irks me. It really does. Like, I know it's kind of a learning curve. What you need to do is you need to set up these little centers, these buildings that would house the army in a headquarters in a given area, and then they would travel to the front line, and then they would hold the line, they would move forward, advance, stuff like that. It just seemed very underwhelming, and then a little confusing, and just wasn't very intuitive when you're first getting into it. So I don't know about it. Yeah, no, I hardly think about Vicky 3 at all now. Like, when EU5 comes out, like, I don't think I'm gonna. I think EU5 and CK3 are probably going to be my only games that I play once I actually get to the actual expansions and stuff. Man. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. It's been a solid hour. We have reviewed everything. I've dissected everything in this dev diary. So I'm going to go ahead and call it. You guys have a good day. It's lovely seeing you guys in chat. Goodbye. Let's see. How do I...